100.9 me mighty and we yesi enkonya ebusia for me din e de MAAME BIAMAH AKWAFO betimi afra me BMZ1 production crew Joe Damia Dumak Jerry Osajumai Frema and Nana Yawsafo e domi no mo bom chidom ama wie ye de dwumade no every neat 100.9 FM e de abro ye worship house e wo Abeka Junction Sabre me kan for ma say wo hwe live e wo Facebook and YouTube Facebook no e neat 100.9 FM live and YouTube near Despite Media ye WhatsApp line so no you activating data e 0503721744 0503721744 Momaden sa obefre anas obede message no befa ho no mo aba ontimi nso so a wo de fa Facebook live ne so e beken kan breast fatam e de amamo ebusia wieye enkwansensem kakra me de eja wona me de ahye nkwan na wadwenwe ho na wachi mu no ene se ejapade ba kwa honya ba ko a wo se nipa wo da bia wo ye hwan kra mo ani bre eye apomuden papa yes emfanse sa bibi biara e wasase so because esi akra me no e kasa se me ni apomuden papa ngemeda betena ha enti apomuden papa de eno ene ahonyade nyina no matter sebe sikadodo awowo se wonni apomuden papa wasem omobbo se wonni apomuden papa wasem omobbo bra wabre nyina ayekwa wabra tuagu because you can't enjoy your sweat. But I say, and I dear back where can so a nam for papa and nam for one dream do na o chia one bet in a war and nam for near my enquia won't be jina wachi. I'm what jina ho and nam for woman who said bibi touch ma one bet 200 at the abaso. Now for papa some na make yadam for biakeke and a yadam for pa. Omu hia papa esan se abrabom wani bagia ne fapem no wi Kristo Yesu esi ho no mo a enam for papa enso eboa emwani je ewie peye pa ena de ba ko bia nso ametwe adwene siso wi apomden papa wi nam for pa esi nchen a ebre ni apomden papa eye niema mienu bia menua yemu o ebra ye ni babu ya ho so sai wo se ede apomuden papa ye adwuma wo se ehwe na ebre edi so no na akachi ama yen edi sa bre odofo dwene wo bre ho dwene wapomuden ho se wo benya bre na ebre bia wo nsa beka bia no wo be utilize ni yie wo de be ye adwuma wo de be bibi emfa so bebre beba so na afen so no wo hwe wadidie mu eyie because eniema bebra yedie no eno ene kofa haw ebre yen e wo yapomudin mu enti mu apomudin hu hia wo yie pa because wo bebra samonim fufire wo be sori ahembada cheja wo ma ho akọ sey mokola na wo kodi dwo senso hefa adwuma na wo kwakọ senso se radio yi adwuma ye ebi ena wo ye a wo sori akọkọ bonye frifie gya nkoda ho na wakọ wo kwakọ ye adwuma na esan adidi a wani di yie nti no na edru baabi a wosesabio emfifira wasam no wo so te so aba wote obere so aba no na fei wo de tare a na wai adan a apomde ho nsam nkoyie empo wo behwe kora na ye de aduane fa droban mu ene ye de amaw because enieme bi ho wo se nka wo de tutu yi a wantimi amfa ntutu yi na sha wo brensonso e disu yie pa ade bia wo pese wo si wadwene pi e wo ho se wo pese wo ye no enua se mo ani je nkoa dia na wonto mra bia nye boni bia dia e se nkran se koso ane koso se ye ne ho beton ye ne amanfo beka se de wo ye no wonam kwa moten ene na mo ani je wie peye enko ha obi okoso na ye ma ho mabaw ye ne an ho beto enye yamanfo ebe ade ba ko so etimi ka nipa enije ehye pa se da bi ode ne ho toto obi ye bo wo soronko asimasi ni obenten wo mo so ye bo mo kwan soronko so Yenti na esa wo do ho toto no. Eniyema bi wo ho a wo wo mu nni. Eniyema bi wo ho a wo mu wo unsu nni. Enti yenya wadan. Yenya wo ne kokun ho. Yenya wo ne di awreho ne konya BP. Ati ase obi biara o wasase so nyankropon enwene sa nipa no e wo kwan soronko so kra. Enti yemfa ho ntoto obi. Because nyema bi wo mu a ubetimi aye a enipa a wode ho toto no say enipa spesi de wonde wadi onu nyawo a anko pe. Enti appreciate yourself. Enye se bia sabe asomesi a no benten apene so se bia menye we nti na meye aso ye wo ye no emma wanije emma wo ho towo ana you deserve se won so benya anije wate you deserve se won so benya anije you deserve esa biribia wo benya ahoto wo betena asomdwe mu all right wate ase you deserve sa na yema ni nyina. Enti emo bi a decision anaso obi agina sia obesie no enhye wo so enka wo nhye emma enwiewie wawreho usu ene agyaadwo enia wani nyi wate anopa na meka che security for no say he aduane edo ewiase ade it is all pepere wo ho na wo time nson na pepere wo ho na tim kagya wo kode a ye de ye wachire ye be enjoy ya ma wari azia we na wi mi di ejawo ene mene wo tsena fi sabre ko se no nan ebebo no nan bo aminu ya ola Michael baba je adwa ene eye ne birthday. It's a glorious happy birthday to the birthday man Ola Michael. Be sorry so no nan pepepa Ola ene beba beto aso no agye entatade akofie na no nsia bo a ye de kase bo no free peace 104.3 e de abremo e de free sabre ko de mene wa na ehwia bom e ye neat 100.9 and waso egu a wotie no onyina mani to ya say enra the NDC National Democratic Congress womo e conference entwefo nhia mu eso womo the true state of the nation e ba betudwa said ye woman no ye sitie ne bobere sitie ankasa no de na no mampanye na nakufuado e de kotudwa no de oboleta nkwa ejane enra de na daje ni poso womo kotese mu ankasa 3 billion ye fence de bedia no wom se economy na atete apansam na ye kukuru de akwakose covid na sefo no enye no kre because economy no ankasa na asai kodwoto ansa na covid ne kora eyi ni tie etu o makwakọ hide behind covid ena chese ni enim ene wo mokeka etu futuru Ghana fo ni afenso ni ama yesika sema to apen eye sabisika ye sign basa ye kobobosi a ye wose etimi de ye bibi e de mfaso obeba no ni ye de afa ne ye hu ane se eka bebrebe amene yen wate ase ye ena afa bosi abo bebrebe ye bobosi akora ye hwe no ansa left right and center ne ye bobosi ane se ya ne ye ko ene this am ayoko ne se Ghana fo ehia se omen yesika sem ne adwadie emu ba henhan ye ho beto eniema nyina beko yie na afi nso sika ba omanfo ebotomo it excuses na aban ede mane de Ghana fo ente kra en wo musa kan se wo hwemu pa amemu MPP amemu a wo mu buo e mampanyi na nado ni Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ene di animu yi no kata hyehyɛ pore kankan dwirim kai efra wo mu sentoma ahye wo mu sa atade wo mu de adware en wo mu de asra se nko aboso Paula Sabe pepe ena NDC amayuko no womo eka wose eneyi wotisi Ghana monteso na obisa obia enida so ni ho kyese niema nkoyie corruption so na afa aban se ya chom MPP aban wose mo aban ne de kai Ghana bakosemo aban bie ni ho no mo asabe wabon se NPP aban eniema nkoyie ankasa kora when nsema hodro bi na ye ba betesemo na mo ne bibi yesi a $3 billion IMF deal now my Ghana ye kwa akwaje anu ntini ye braka no foriata wakopiem wo China ene China for ekobo ho nkomo ahwese bi a $1.7 billion no a ye ka ye di China mine wo betimi aye hu bibia man ya na hwema ya bagu ya sum ene say IMF deal no se mampanyi ka say by the end of March na is a deal no afa that's the ye hia no de aman ne ade eche na ba beto dwa say afa de ya santum eko May enye March biem o eye May enti abusuafo ne aba no what ya say ne yete ho no da bia ye besesa date saa ye bete na edru December 31 as I just 35 December 2023 ansa na IMF deal no wo mo agrante amaye IMF fo ensuso mo so dian ya ba ye ho na akire ye ne ya ba ne yesimo ye mo fa de man ne mfa ntoto yi ne ye betua de asem no Edian kwa hwan na ndeka almighty America kura wo mo deka wo mo deka nti Ghana ye ne deka na ye den nti mo fa ma ye hwan na mo toso too much yes December and the afedi by yes January and February and the afedi March and you know ya santum ko May aden IMF bone ben no dan chance NPP one more flag bearer race no emu hitiba Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Yerajo Wise the first deputy speaker of parliament waba boti de betu just what is nipa bebreba one more ekwapri nyina honorable Ken Akompre kwa Japan honorable Boachie Jako miame wafa afei honorable Alan Kwajo Trematin Alan Cash no afei ho abi mpomumbo edin ne me mame honorable Jogato ono onya baya na former food and agric minister honorable Akoto free Akoto afei ho abi mpo na eba honorable Apreku Akomeren tomatoes ono so oba afe hwan biem kura hwan honorable Kwabena Japan Kwabena J Japan ono so oba it is so far menya se na honorable His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia vice president ono so ewa ha 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 ena menya minim se bi ka ho biem a I don't know eti sa nipa enwotwe nyina yes, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ono enahwiri ade animu. He stands tall above everyone else. We are first deputy speaker of parliament, Joe Wise, and what this answer me abetudra. And watching so and Yera Benefson, some you know adwuma Yera Benefson ye wo yen sentreni kase pa e wo memo and o tie post ni ade ye ba beto ababia otimi eya sinsin na ko se asumasi ne betimi awini e wo sa abato mu ampa ibu ono mu anatom ibu onso ana apaska eti Yera Benefson en waba no chese Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia flag bearer race no obe win with 60%. Only one why specific and kasapa obe win with 60% of the votes. What I say ama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia aba abeye flag bearer diama NPP ama yukono nene nyina nkamfu ano empanyine se tini awieye eni ebe hunu chale.
Brothers and sisters, we are all living the reality of the worst economic crisis in our nation's history, and there can be no denying of this. The President's address only served to deepen the anxiety, hopelessness, and uncertainty about the future of our country. It was all too clear that this government is grappling with the extent of the crisis they have created, let alone figure out what to do to bring us out of the mess. President AKWAFO failed to convince the Ghanaian people that there is any end in sight to the suffering and pain that his government's recklessness and misguided policies have brought on us. In the end, he cut an image of a leader who is hopelessly out of touch with the reality and genuine difficulties of his people. a president who believes that burying himself in a delusional bubble will make the problems vanish. Even worse was the continuation of the discredited attempt to evade responsibility for the economic atrocities that have led us to this depressing point. While they engage in vainglory, Ghanaians have to deal with the daily consequences of a collapsed economy. My brothers and sisters, the true state of our nation is well known to all of us. As the legendary Bob Marley noted in one of his songs, "He who feels it knows it best." There has, however, been an effort by this administration to falsify the causes of the disaster we face while fleeing from responsibility. We in the NDC, the only viable alternative to this government, deem it necessary to straighten the records and expose the untruths presented to the nation through Parliament by President AKWAFO, and to highlight that our desired state is self-inflicted and deliberately so by this government. We are certain in our minds, and believe same to be true for all objective minds, that Ghanaians are experiencing excruciating hardship because the AKWAFO-BIAMAH MPP government has offered utterly useless and reckless governance in the last 7 years. They have shown no restraint in the level of recklessness in governance. My brothers and sisters, today, the public debt stock, which stood at 120 billion cedis in 2016, has increased to a whopping 600 billion cedis, while the debt to GDP ratio, that was 56% in 2016, now stands at 103%. It must be underscored that the president and his economic management or mismanagement team actively colluded with the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, for the latter to benefit directly from these borrowings through numerous transaction fees, schemes, and scams from the bonds that Ghana issued. My brothers and sisters, despite being the luckiest and most resource government in Ghana's history, the AKWAFO-BIAMAH MPP government has the least to show in terms of socio-economic development. This is because the MPP has used all your money mainly for consumption. This is contrary to the president's claim that his government has used large amounts of the monies we borrowed on roads and construction. The president knows he deliberately misled Ghanaians with this claim because he's aware that only a minute amount of the overall resource envelope that has accrued to his government since 2017 has been used for the construction and rehabilitation of roads in this country. The truth is that only an abysmal 1.6% of the total resource envelope of 820 billion Ghana cedis has been spent on roads by this government. Official government of 820 billion Ghana cedis has been spent on roads by this government. Official government of Ghana records show that a whopping 93% of the 820 billion Ghana cedis has been spent on consumption, including AKWAFO's 20,000 euros an hour luxurious private jet travels across the world, hired over several months at the expense of the taxpayer. It is a tragedy that the president will classify routine minor road repairs such as resealing, reshaping, pothole filling, regraveling, and even the silting of gutters as new road construction. The claim that this government has constructed over 11,000 kilometers of new roads is false and should be completely disregarded. The president should hang his head in shame. Apart from the unsustainable debt of the country, the budget deficit, which stood at 6.1% in 2016, now stands at a whopping 12% under the watch of the BIAMAH-led economic management team. This is after it rose to an unprecedented high of 15.7% in 2020 owing to the reckless election-driven spending of the government. Per government's own figures, the rate of inflation, which stood at 15.4% as of December 2016, now stands at a hyper rate of 52% and rising.
Ghana namiye mampenyi 2016 AKWAFO ebedi mampenyi Ghana mede share nensa no enye sa Ghana ninie ezu Ghana mede mana na AKWAFO enye sa Ghana ninie yaya mobo dodo Sama kai Ghana ye mobo dodo yet there so there moya de mo onkai yo ezu afe na Ghana ya ye mobo afe na e confite yi edeye ezu na afe yesu a yesi yenye kom efise sika empedede mama ehia ye man a ekom de ye a ye ni sika oze mi ensu nyenye kom efise yesu a sika ne bedwane sika na ekodada abaya kasa ajeatum say ya dani hia man yeka yentimi ntua enti enam wiase afa na nyina ena omo aye bo obosia wo omo ho ye pa omo acho say eka no omo mfa nche make us say finance minister or China ye de omo ka 1.7 billion dollars almost say China for emphasize aka no enche ezu enti yemman no assign nechi bibia uye bia emphasize obi enfri mumba ya ka say 2016 ejuma bia obia ye bia unya kakra e de kowa no etimi hwe wo yere ne wumba oso enenso de ote store no a ye ntohwe na driver for the omu ye mobododo driver for the omu ye mobododo ezu 2016 Abraham Abai NDC woso petrol gallon ba kunwa aye 14 cedis. Yes, yenti bida. Na jomama timo ding. Ayeden yeto petrol 14 cedis a gallon. And ne yeto petrol say offensive de minim. Bear 70 cedis. And yeto 1 gallon. And that's 14 cedis are now unya gallon no. What they call petrol station, how many pinto abako? Ezu.
Na 100.9 and was so a go with you. Na yanya a ye kwa homas ya kwa homas wodi. Mo fancha me abusiafo ya kwa homaso akwakodi enkomo kakra bi aba. Yera Edward Amponsa Amponsa awie ye mo ha o. Na mo hote sai. Boko. Na mo se ayi chebia manfrom. Ye na ekoso ho. Adan na mo se o manfo no enkakra kakra wo mu huna mane pa. Ye na ekoso.
No problem.
Ah, ayi me ba o. Meba ejambo sa meba. Te bia man from a chrome ho ana police station ho asem na woken. Na so meja na na eden.
Omo police station. Aya ye no.
Hmm.
Em em.
Hmm.
Eyi
Na sa minim sa ayi manho ajana manho de eye ma ye nke makai e ba betwe. Ya sa anu omo ye no.
konse ho na eyi aka we na ayema ama ebu afa baby around am tiri ko
Ajika num.
ba ko jina odi komo kakra bi a in short time so what tell me na ko ano ko sorry e very bad ama me phone ko mo se no na ma le pa o if you work at the same thing around that compound the same thing it's a big problem I if it of any it me only be very bad.
Hmm. Na anya bia mo yi police for mpanyimfo na asotire e fa sa na ye koso no. E bia no omo hu ni.
Omo hu
Na de no omo ya fa ho.
taking master no cry to many times even this is commander cry ba ho or church of only test for near the abatela no e hu hwe
Obetro ho letters be ye ho yi na edi be how many months?
oh be 2 months ago if na say no de bia o ha be omo comprehension ye friend station master comprehension omo so mu tu hana mu itu to kwa de boss pra ba si am no ka say ago jino isi na isu no aye we ni mama o e ma no ina 2020 ko mu ne number compound sa
Hmm.
ko isi na ko te mu no ne number ko no ma it's very bad yeah
We dey because I can imagine mu hu na mane pa.
my
Ne
area
aha. Ende no kre. Enti asa. Hmm.
don't na boy no mo so ma abeto mani mo so mo tu wana mo aboy a to boy pa
Hmm.
ko ni fa nkwan ye nton nkwan ye
Ebi.
aka se wo kan jo ko to
Na anya bia ne ekoso nyina mu no ehe na prosifo ne omugya omanan.
o mo de so o mo fia o mo ja mo nan a we ni ye image says say ho no o se o
Aha,
mo
charge office ho no.
charge office for no ha anti mo event o mo set no o mo tore sin na critical problem
Eh, any ade ya che because sounds ho de say omo no so sa.
e bi o mo no o mo ya no mo yi but o mo ya on se we no de lecture problem man na say ama ho na tore te ni o se ye for mo esen fa mo dan ensure no ensure na ka ne no ano but when the ensure no e ma esen fu out
Hmm.
so one oh one or more no sa pie ne nam e ho sa one na ma ye ba sa na send ne sa ko charge office wo
Eh, eno omo tim sa.
o be so on complain ma complain several times and so your office na o of so o be pia ba na ba on so kra na so so ti na on so na on so center ba on
Hmm.
ye very bad
Yo.
madawro ma
Yate.
de mo en kakra
Ejampo science ye be ya fam de bie e de aboa na we de ano odin. Because we de ni senke di na wotwe kra we senko mo mampanyu ayifo ba behwe na.
utuka ba si wie kura na wie bo kana bo di so ti ta wota ye rainy season other rainy season or dry season kana bo di so na mo emma
Hey, onka fra. Yate.
SS for private na yesa
Oh, okay.
office ni fi ho yin
Oh, okay.
ma
Yate. Yo. Obanyampo san ewie ye bedo ase.
me da sin no
Yo. Amen. Abusiafo opanya ni di nkoma ye yewra Edward Amponsa a wote Chebia Manfrom na wo kire se Chebia Manfrom ho no police station wo ho no police cells wo ajanan a wo mokoso no and I'm say manhole no so mo plaster mo so mo ye ndie be yonti no ejana ne hu nsuo ni ade no we de mo fa nche me wi abo im se binu mu dididie but mo fa nche me ye nipa ho ade na chese apepepe afa ho ama ba bonten na enka bone ye de abade enye papa ene se ene no edi ehon komo neat 100.9 FM ena waso egua utie me base sia mama just some few minutes.
Sir, I am a fee, sir. You said, well, I am a fee, Yuguswa, at the Mangan say I extended from March, a called May. In Yuguswa, but we are still appealing to the president. You say, you know, you need president, it's way we never for you. Those are executive presidency, but you need your MPs to facilitate your work for you in the House. It shouldn't be seen as a confrontation. I have been elected. Okay, I said, maybe a minor do. If you said, you can say, or the total will for me. Kwame, and clear for I can, no be yes, I will be on to be there, now, cannot address the Kwame. Oh, be anywhere. I buy about it.
What come a threat? I been
they are buying, they are bad buying. Me have been a candidate and an MP twice, and another the president. It's been quite fast about power. Bray, and it's better than for. It will be a career, they come on, a premier prem. Oh, be Chelby. Because will be a young church, and suddenly go up for a come. And you are more than 7 years. And you part that the old Bentiana, Quabramintina, Yeka, Yeka. Which I say, maybe that kind of Punya Sanchez, and I remember Scar, the movie Scar. You don't know his own head. While you got my media, what is Scar, all kinds of kind of way.
Yes, Mamusika, and say, be Mukra to Sabia, Honorable Brian Champo Museno. Yeah, man, mystery appointment in something as an olive branch be I extended to him.
I mean, we say, Brian Champo, number one. Does he qualified to become a cabinet minister?
Sure, he's so
qualified. I don't want a cabinet minister, I'm say Brian Champo.
There be
Ghana, how many ministers? I'm say Brian Champo.
No, I was cut.
With them, they mean we go to. We didn't go to them, we move with you.
And I know. I'll train about 2,000 shim.
No. It's funny. As I can say, you shouldn't try and marry the two issues. The other one and the same. I say, your purpose in here, yes, I said, Magana Boom say, but you do know. In same be a question, you're not on penny and I don't go to the agent. The fucking of that. If you part in ye deal, and your money ye deal, no, my play to my talk. The example I am a Jumano, and cast some year can of them. But we will be answered the time say, I did more in my brain Juma. We are not having training.
I need any number from him.
Don't say, says my idiot.
Okay,
you see what I said. As a brand, or you're more than qualified. Become cabinet minister. Well, constitution it says will be the MP, to be the minister, to be president. Yes, well, politics now the MP no, and what the people minister, not the president. The brand no, but you want no. The DNC won't quite say the man post. And I say, Mokasa will be owning the OEB Sebi. Yamano, a Jumaso, the day may be a example, a consummate businessman or a politician or a Juma. It is a president that feels say Mr. Be on the board. And it's somebody and back to the flat must go on. Meaning, I say we are conflating the issues. Which I said, yes, the objective of the 1 million and rebels. We are not rebels. We are Democrats for God's sake. If you are a Democrat, you cannot express your opinion or something you disagree with. If that doesn't make you a rebel, I mean, it's our words. You know, we are careful with some of the choice of words. We are well-meaning MPs. I'm saying posterity will judge us. Yeah, rebels say. The women in Sweden. Funny, Nipa, you were accessible.
We have for no me no abapawsima in Sia Neat 100.9 and was so a guauti no Yamia Maduma Mensaka, former chairman for New Draben North constituency, Yura Kojo Boateng Ajimai. Tema one.
Mommy.
Yamuaham Wakwaba. Esam Wafishiapa. Got 2023 afa na me hu
ani o mi say anu edin say 2022 kra na say da mi say e bo mu ba ku bi na
eno ano no
bi na ba ho afa
me da se chairman na mpacho won so ho afa pa
mi no edin ye pa
so rade no edin
ade amu ye anopa wi na oba besia na oda so gina so say
ben den
e bia o me we kire e bia Facebook phone e be hu ye na ye tie anim de
Chairman Bibia Bokode.
Ya me dia che.
Na se MPP mo say flag bearer race na da ben na mo kwa akoto aba na yetimi ayi anima be peke nomination forms na ya hyase aye campaign ese ase ye campaign ase ye nya aye nofo bi what is happening
no cre say jama the party ni hye na atwetwe o makodu ba bi ade akodi ba me ogide say party there o ye constitutional we must to have constitutionalism abribia na o say etumi na mo bia e betu no at a certain time at a certain weather no and just say casting constitution into stone to just say e do ba bia o say etumi sisan bibia yen sisan bibi you sure say penifo di ho komo enu ti na o hwe party ni hye mu a the steering committee the national council the national executives mu nyina no just the process o betumi a vary the situation no me there me ogide say be but me they na ye me kakra no say like you are saying me there presidential no hu hia me kese ye betumi atu ho anamo na ye be ne aye ntem etumi ye ntem kakra before the end of this year
it will come man call for early congress
now parliament for nka ho the parliament for parliamentarians need the better mu the next year January hu hia
like flag bearer na more call senka yen konin
na enu na mu odu
yen hu se nipa smesi na awi ni nti ye ton no an ye nyadaje
aton ni ye enu so na Ghana for dodo na de o mani hwe hwan na eba owura ba umia na
ya keka ma ayi me ye list bi wa ha manya nipa ba enwoche honorable Ken honorable Boachi Ejako Alan Kojo Chirematen Yora Jogati I don't know so no oba ya obeba honorable Yefri Yakoto afei
apreku abanchini board
agric minister honorable Yapreku Yakomeren Tomeros ena honorable Kwabena Jie Japan ono so unity ena His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia
the one and
Vice
only
President Ochima Baumia hu
oh and komono de me obi start no bi sam so Ochima Baumia
Neat FM new
and I mean that
the one and only nti na MAAME bi say Ochima no ana
the entia me kan one and only unu say abribia Yankopon bo ni wiase abribia ne ni hyehyeye ena abribia ne ni mra oyi ne kandifo so otiase nti no say ye wo kandifo a upe ase mra ye kwa wo Jesus na onim say teacher for no bebre wo Jew a na ene no omo nyindi say the crutch ne hyehyeye ne ne niema no obetuma ye kandifo Roman for kra anye ani but ene ye bo Jesus ne abo Mary beboa ene Roman they believe in Jesus Christ more than anything else Inti na just say that kandifo no wo hwe Paul no mu beso mu a menyi ni say Paul na initially pa na ogidi say the Christ is the way of man a convert abetro the so tro ye nyina na ye nyina ye di akiri so otiase inti mi da bia the make say MPP party no leaders always merge upe that is what it is and the baby a ye gina no eye niema mienu pe at do time I was a party no ankasa etumi hu party ni bobre na ye hu say party ni so organization ni pe wo mu ni doso we dey assume say nim hwe kra yen cast your mind back in 2020 ni pe to about my MPP almost about 6.5 million okay that nipa na wo gidie wo MPP mu no o mu nyina ye MPP sympathizers it is a mribi so na ye se ekotu anamo a sabi anya obakofo interest and also see ye hwe yes ye June party ni dodo ho ani baby a party ni bobre eko na said ye gidie no so ebetimi agina piama party na di nkunim nti ne yes se ye hwe obakofo anamo nti me de me hu ni se da odi waso to fom na utie di amanfo ka wo fom ani anamo ni said ye beko campaign na eno kura so besa ye mra maye campaign wo he numbers strategy any niema abetumi add up all the tribal issues ni ade nyina o consider ni nyina how they are your numbers you see how you to we MPP ye kan ko ni ye kese yo ni ye nkunimdie obi anum say ejina owura Baumia whether oba eno oba ochina wedi 2 days yo at this time offer middle class anything I make me more calculation be offer middle class offer the minority community offer majority community oka sa niema we boma oka niema miensa boma obia nkoma ni dibia homa onunyamfo yi enye kandifo na monta nachi nti ni say ye etia na we yade a ye betwe ho dare ama yakoko ho ntokwa ama afi tumi na ye se ye pe no na yewura omanpanikufo ne nkwaso da bia ne baby obu say ye ne hwe kura ne so wo power na so de oti oye
messenger kura no a
nyame adom oti ase itini ye hwe sa ne ma na ehu se president ba ko na edi ba dodo no ho mfaso ene beba ma party ma no enu ti no amigidi se o ma edi o ma so mpanifo e ka bi nyina no iti edu time e se ye party ni se etumi tena se ne ye ka bom
no ne be kasa kire ana
eno ye ene ti na mpanifo no ho o ma panikufo ho ra hakmanum council of elders ho na naado ka ho bi e wo se o mutumi tena se 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 o mu gya ye saa keke efi se pani de obi anya bi da o ma panikufo ho yi ni nim de ene de kanko edi president pen ene ni mfie no dodo e benya saa nim de ne saa bambo ne saa nhira no Ghana population ye 30 million wan hwe ye beteki mfie be ye oha o mu nu aduasa adambwa 65 years odi asema making yes independent idea 67 years offer coup d'etat leaders na wafa elected the democracy for aka from Kwame Nkrumah breast ebesi sabri president ayenya mo Ghana omomro 14 etimika to so mampani bobre no ana mampani kufu bobre no ebetuma nya mfie oha nipa obenya mo benya saa nimdie no mu nu aduasa na je same kra media no doso dodo
Nana bisa bibi se edian sonko no mohu ewo ebia Dr. Mahmoud Baumia mu se obetimi because obi nso betimi a raise issues se after a memo no ka ho bi ampanyin wo nifa e no nso gina benkum edisa memo ni koyi a ono nso odi mu bi obi bi foforo bi obeye amansakra ya ba anko aya magana fo hu
you see sakran dey say any ka se di hu komo a is about the opposition and yen among ourselves what you say
okay
the offer all my ju so mbe gina nyina so be any vice president ana meboa intinu at a certain point in time the yen nyina agidi say ye pagya ye mudi a any of the oben and shift no be meka ho
okay
but then common na ye say ye di common to the extent say yen nyina betimi aka say maame BIAMAH ti hoyi o se fata say obebo owura Baumia Chidom into shed the tribal sentiments from there the way to me aka say ye kan ha ne habomu a the strategy na make any bi ni o ye kan ha ne habomu a ye betumi atu anamo ama bibia to din na me da bia me kan me unim say so da bia ensam ni bi wo ho na also be dadwene ho wo be kan no it is a painful truth but at the end of the day no it can be a solution for the party for the citizens and the ordinary person or tiabontin ndi da bia da me kan say na me hwe a party na se mpanifo be transfer nipa mienu
Manawan.
Ora Baumia endi kan. Ora Lanchamatin enter nechi.
Oh, Alan Cash.
Na ye na settlement no. And I. The Ora Lanchamatin ti ase a. De da ekoso abontin.
Efun.
Efun. O ma ka hu nyina, o ka planting for food o hwan yo. Maza. Ya mutu. Ya kan wie party ni so ni beji. Party ni so will feel inclusiveness. So at least ye negotiate ye. O ti ase. Enya se ye begya owura Baumia ma nakọ owie no di nkunum ni de obedi ene omupew
obedi nkunim
but say ye ne ye transia ma na ye ni ye a party no behu se ampa na bedi a kire no so no eye party no enhyehyeye what you say sabi mi so owura Lanchamatin oni apamfo na nam party eye negotiations we can negotiate it at the end papa ne so aye na aju so be 65 ministers a obedi a kire ma ni be enum bi na ono so ebia
anya bia sam maybe mutiri mupoi watimi atro ho asem bia koto council of elders ebia no mkra no o madwene maso
ni nyina ye nkomo ayedi enti anya bia so wada roma wa ma platform ena ahanso ye baabi a o man sutie and there's a national platform
okay
enti ebia de make so be kon no obi ba kotwene da reading den ye kan na o ma ti akire enso
de kwa adwendwen
mu maka se da bi akrache free bay ebeboa ekuo no ama ekuo no kanko oti ase ni nyina ye enhyehyeye a party ni tumi tenase because aye tumi ena ye nyina ye pe ayampia ekoso from opposition a o se dun katia me ba na obo na ade nyina menu aba ye di enti anya tumi kro ya enti no se ye tenase se enuanom eni abusua ni ya hyehye ni yaka away da bia de make an say a golden opportunity for Mira Lanchamatin Ninu apeni odim I don't have me nya politics with hatred
na so na kodi nkomo
say ebeba wa me dey me a personal appeal
okay
me ni obia nkasai me mfa nkoto obia na so but the make can say ho behia pa so obadwindwin ho ye oti ase na wa tu saa na mo ye tu saa na mo no so de pepa na omma na teacher wo me tie na chi no teacher for no supporters no e me ye ni yodium yemfa bufuo yemfa otan bi eko na ye no obia ntan obia oti ase eye enkunimdie ene pepa ene kanko ene oman yie yo enti na ye saa de enti se ye nyina abegi atomu na ka yetu saa na mo na enka na aka meka se omo so se tie akire a o se omo so pe running mate o ma tete platform a ye si we pe say yes a negotiation we
ebinum so atom ho so ehwe ebia Dr. Mahmoud Baumia na bewini anasa Alanche Martin na bewini ana ono aboka na Japan na bewini a omo so techire egbo ho for running mate it we say all this agenda is there adentina ekuo mpanifo yentimi international ye nhwe ni nyina oti ase nti ye bewie no nanka atodin quiet negotiations ye say ye we are these are a team together to move obi enye de bia but as a sabi umakrachi nso ekokobre na okoko wie ura Baumia wa wini na afi na party for ye be kan o na for lancash air attach na nye dabi eko ni yenya ne sa yentiase na baabi a omo wo bia no ade no so de eda ho plane me nanka minua pani no na na ye kan ya otiase numbers are out there me the polling station the chairman polling station me na me hye ye minim the polling station for eka okay
say Baumia ban enton fa ho eda ho plane yempel is the next flag bearer of the MPP.
Obi so baby say ada na anya the other way round.
Enye
Ada na anya yi.
The numbers are not there. Enkrofo na what ground no penny sir.
Yeah, Sir John, may he so rest in peace. On the kind of same because if fear delegates.
There be delegates where they ajomudi.
Yeah, sure. Pressure be
delegates for we nkomo no. Emu da ho. Oti ase. Yeah, etiene say John time no na hwe said the na delegates in common no any ade ne kona na emu hye da na ho sa oti ase say ya nyina hye abane yakoto bi na no tie that time say John oya ade otwa yampia bi say na no oya MP sakrachi fu we say eninamu but on the ground put me who say na emu enhye da na hosa ba ora
e dey na man say about this time around
ba ora ba mu ade na na say eno mama
because nipa dey hwe
ba mama na mama mi
at the point kura wo dey na say kotima dey no so na dwene tibisi
eno dey menji ho akini but dodo no dodo na dey no makasa yen dey process o the first delegate conference na be super delegates na some candidates dey o ma ho odi nyina shem what I say? Oh, in such a way, say, your co super delegate na, or about me numbers and mastro, said the Yabaka say, penony idea. This time, for dynamics assistant, super delegate is going to win hands down. Because the same tricks now. The same tricks now, must see your money numbers because police stations are ready for him.
Are you saying, okay, so police stations are ready for him, or are Ghanaians ready for him?
Oh, yes. Ghana for credit, they are more than ready. Into the other, me super say a process in the market. Me a process in me. Let's see the Ghana for Becca. So say a jump on precope to Ghana for, and now you have not been fair to MPP rules and regulations. Yeah, they are told. Okay. Into the woman go through the process in me. But me, Mumu, dear, I'm highly in confidence and comfortable. Say, is in the comfortable lead. What you say? Into and kebeye fe na kebeye de say nyina no we can come to a point that a party no emu asumdue ni mu anamo ni mu nante and can be the first in kind say be can say oh ene de ye koi understand e be apie say ora na chamate say o ka say okay meja me campaign ye we throw me weight behind me nu aketo say you declare so a vice president but ye wie na ora ba umia constitutional money to me say on power will be no obi obefa no that is at least party no we need so kakra Ora Lancha Martins, enya kwasa because we say we hwe ni fia wedi a. Ora ba me di 8 years wie. Adwuma na Ghana for beto aso no. At that time na fe na bia wedi be 74 76 your baby. Mira. Eka ye nyankopon ayesom no. Say on the upon country Ghana for say obeko one term president. It's easy for him to becoming the president.
Why?
Lancha Martins.
On country Ghana for.
I Odin 8 years vice president in India. I some now make out say. Where the 8 years
uncomplicated.
Where the 8 years vice president in India no. Huh? Na edu ni so no. Odo country Ghana for so be call one term president.
I didn't.
Ode fancy age wise.
No dey be that Ghana.
Age wise. Says that na bia we 74.
Because ebino mo so ka say.
We 74.
Alan one na adodankwa kufuado e na kopre those times e na oje mu ma na se wo de wo kọ
da bia oje mu se e sa kasa na ya no mka okrum na efiri na bai
no ya dan
oje mu enso
na wo ya party banti me mate ya
me 207 December 22nd na me Legon hobby because you know say na me uncle air contest honorable Hackman Usu Ajima was one of the contestants me boy me Legon hobby ya to aba ebia na make about negotiations ya to aba na wie he claiming say we anya magic number into yanko second round. Nanado was ready. Do you think say Nanado was because or patch also second round ya kwa baby team? No, the first round Nanado akano jamabe 46 votes be nanka onya the number that he's supposed to get. Anameboa. Okay. It is a way now what assume you know. Look at the margin between Nanado and Alan Chamati. Alan got around, I think 600 or 700. Nanado now 1,000 plus. Look at the gap. Where is he going to be? So where J Maman? J Maman they now come 10 votes to be naga say could be a mama dream best. And pennyfu e wofie no e de omunan see from. E bia na making. Omunan see from. Oman peninku for ne nkwaso. Na don say listen. Enough a party agro ni yedi. Ese na da yanim no na ho hia. Se ye bebo ho ban. Ye betu ho anamo. What you say? Na ask Mira, masom. Ana me party penifo masom. Enye uje mu amobia kasa bia e da baabi.
Unim say e mu am party for police station for be in Ashanti region. All my friends and trefo nhia mu say mo bia e impose anybody on them. Momo amokwan no mo ankonkoto wo mo aba wo abewi ne no awi wo abelusu no ape oba bia fa ye wie na ne oba na appointment ape vice president no ape ye nyina obi amu no
candidate na no akoso onko bi obi a impose obi so
mana se onko bi
me say se me ba ma me bia ma me ne wa be kasa agroi me your campaign whatever
when no brother sanke ni sanke bakaniem e sanka mo ya no back door
o dia e bia na me kan ti so no wo ya no back door ye ne kania mu na wate ase no so onko bio a obi a impose obi so ana eno di emamu party let me give you a typical example. At the time Obama and Hillary fight in the year 2008, okay? Now me America. Okay. The same primaries are no mako. Now Obama winning all the small states in the red states. Red states naturally almost to about Emma Democrats. But because primaries women you know to be. Women you know to Obama. Meanwhile Obama nya magic number. MAAME no so we need big states. California, Maryland, New York, no money adie nyina. Oti ase. Enti akasa de onbeko convention. Huh? Yeah, convention, yeah, confirm. And let me tell you something. Those that they don't know American politics. Convention as obi tumi sisana the rest state na omuto Obama no. Convention as nipa mi nipa betumi asesa no. Yeah, the senators ni state rep na omabegina ho no. Omegina so state ni nyina atoma Obama de, but convention na and they asesa ye nan. Yes, anko Hillary ho. And they know very well the convention is yakwa Mira, the establishment of Clintons, a likelihood say one here and
Elvis said the message before Maba and was I'm listening to you live. Listening to your guest, he's not trying to be fair. Your party constitution says there should be elections, and you're also saying there should be negotiations. You are not trying to be fair.
Election elections. Election contested. Is that what he understands?
And I make us say, we cry and listen to Bambontain. No, you should have done that back door. No, one amunim ya moye. And at the end of the day, any panabano say, me and I say, me call me young could be munimum come.
But of course, and I mean, typical example, peer pressure. The citizens must also
the voice of the people is the voice of God.
Yes. It is been an make actually. Say, come on, me landi ya. Kabe who say o back door in their making. At that time, na pressure na woman say, I was say Obama volunteers. Omu ye dede. Eka say you winning more states. Adentina moji ade na free and some. Oti ase. So they negotiate to say, okay, massa, madam we. O dear, ye Jemuma cratch no onye den na onko. O next time, you be make sure say vice president abefan uncontested the next elections. What you say? And na nti ase ye adwuma. Ye MAAME suppose ke say fine. Secretary of State. The next elections, what is Joe Biden or the president? What is over contested? No one contested. Ojai Hillary Manekoye, he won the Democratic primaries. He contested as a presidential candidate. At the end, Okoya Anyi, and Yatuana, your friend say, Joe Biden, and then you're not two the president. So, Otias, on crowd or something if you another 4 years. So, politics is about calculations, your time, and your resources. And no, and a mouth victory. And yes or no, two of us say your party constitution say you election to election be election be no be answer no contest. No, what I'm trying to say is that the fact that say yes you elections. We better now make kind. Maybe all kind nipa eat. So me nipa me na me boom din wa ha. Ya can go ahead and contest. E betimi so kra ba say nipa mienu a wo boom din delegate ento mo mu bia. Oh, na delegates
they will divert. They will shift it to a different neutral person. Na face a ho card ni nyina eto atwa.
Delegates.
E betimi happen like that.
Ye ne o ma na tie. Ye ya na party ye na ye abusuafo na ye kan so much.
The fact say bia delegates a wo no area ba ko no prefer certain candidate. That doesn't mean say delegates or more baby also prefer the same.
I'm talking about me national platforms you.
So
I'm talking about the global. Chairman. National platforms. And I'm the cancer assembly. Until I know what I'm saying. Meaning communication you meaning platform that's national platform chairman the constituency chairman the whole nation your platform former chairman your platform. All these things, you hear the communicate that is going on. And at the end, and yes, candidates in a war on Abia Umunim. Okay. Media Abia Megas Abia Omuna candidates in Abia Omo delegates in Abia Omuka no Mudada Omudia. But election there, Mira, at the whole plane, Nanado, Ebeba 2016. Minu Mienu Okrum. Obi Enitia. That Mira Lanjamati one contest.
Contesting.
What percentage?
And they mean
about 4.5%. 5% crowd. The same conversation went on. But I don't mean because at that time he doesn't deserve to be a vice president. Because combination say yes uncle so be cause so be jai me na hamisa. Into omu kenyina. But me very well say Nanado is going to win. These are the things. Think at that time, any of the candidates, GD say, or stand tall among the other side now. GD say, negotiating a fair, fair. But sometimes you can see say election video, and then call the idea in some BIAMAH on one of the fa. Yeah, fair.
Say the Oka say a ground say fair tally. I don't know.
Oh, it is my proposal. It's my proposal. But it is a golden opportunity for Ora Alancha Martin to also, Madam, why the minister? Now you say the vice president. And two, over elections. Now we lose, and you lose out.
How would you know without going for elections? How would you know say you are going to lose?
Oh, the same person about studio have and somehow record two now so they are the pimping me. Then also fatu.
Miracle Job Watson Ajamaye, former NPP chairman for New Jabe North constituency, and Menena Bonko Moka Krafa NPP and more flag bearer issues and ade so far enipa 8 and womachi womene say womunya wombe contest akasa party no ebe bie kwamu ato say date say na ye bia to obia wani je ho say obe contest for flag bearer no efa forms e kofe na fe obia hu say so say e bi kura na bi kura wachire a wo mo beba ababeka ho eti yera kwadwo boate ageman fortunately for me osan so eka me panel ho enawie na me ne wo mo eba abebon komo na ya hwe ba bia ensam no ye betase akoduro me basisi a abusiafo no me no abapa ho sima aduasa ensia 236 neat 100.9 and waso egua otie no ensam enne ye ba be brobro so no medikan aboboso etete ho de akyerem dada ma mintimu biem isansafe na me guest wo mo age adwa na IMF ye deal bosia ye kwakwaje $3 billion na ye de abe tutu ye niema kakra sane ebe ya sabe eka emene ye ne ade no ye betimi ye ho betimi adwen kakra na fe ya home so kakra nsana ya to aso atwia yera kanofori ata sabria manugu so ameka se wokọ China minim so akwa aba nso ana oda so ho a ai wokọ na wo mo akwa akwadwene kwan ya betimi afa so na yɛn ka no yɛtumi ahyehye ne yie etu okwa akohu China for yɛde wɔn ka 1.7 billion na nche akra na obi ebo hwerema egu masum sɛ IMF deal no deadline no mampanyi bɛka sɛ by the end of this month ɛna kyerɛ sɛ yɛbɛhwɛ na ɔmode de kodi ɔmode bɛma no ɔmode amaye afei de yɛsi asesa kɔ May atwam April asa kɔ May ɛne asɛm kra enti di asɛm kra ne IMF fufu so mo kyerɛ mo ho dodo NDC True State of the Nation Address and say the economy no show signs of challenges and I say the can show signs of challenges and sign of COVID ne Ukraine one for ntokoi eba and na one more chest ni nti ama your economy no it's in a mess no a reckless spending excessive borrowing and no any yade na Ghana for economic relief not flimsy excuses as being done or portrayed by the government. Corruption and say a defeated Mampanyan Nekufuado and Nebusia Amemua Wobu. As they say, Wura my Ghana mu na unya mebuno makumi no be do so one more kasa to Musa. There is no hope. Ibia kwesi corruption so na adokoro aban ya otia konwa so ene ho nkro de ba. And watch say the MPP aban ye hu say sebe amemu no amemu bone amemu fun pa enyam na meka NDC amayoko na nra True State of the Nation Address a wom de tudwa sansemi nyina ebi fifiri mu ba ya mebobo voices no so kra me ye sure say mutitibi na NPP flag bearer race no and first deputy speaker of parliament era Joseph Joe Wise menka na sa Joe Wise ababonten say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia or no any stand it all and yera benefsen so edibiato so ese flag bearer race no Dr. Mahmoud Baumia be winning about 60% of the votes yes senior ye any be hunu chale and someone ye na yera kojo boaten ajuman kane NPP Jemchani and war New Jabe North or Hasei Nuruddin Hamidan ono sufri NDC abusuakom wa babeka yensa e wa ha wo mo ena efre incentrefo nhia mo di True State of the Nation no ebetu dwa no Sylvester Sapon Soprano CPP Director of Communications ono so abetna se e wa ha mamensha se free Nuruddin so abusuafo me mamunya na akwa ba
yeah press conference every best any detail
me mama akwa ba abusuafo bibi aboko de
boko
radiase yes Nuruddin ibi so o press conference no
okay my his excellency Ebeka State of the Nation's address. Eba beka ho asem. Yedi den di pefe say the president has failed to give the true State of the Nation's address. Rightly so, onu ankasa agye tum say State of the Nation's address because what can say in his speech, can say, Mr. Speaker, please permit me to deviate from the format and talk about Agric and others. He himself said it.
Selective
On one case I can say, open permission, na wakani ope. Instead, say we will go through the format of the State of the Nation's address. Minuaba,
yes,
what is the State of the Nation's address format? The format in any say. The problem or our country no adia waye afan ho baby a adia ne ewo ho sisi anam to a woto in the future to make sure you address the issues. When your president it was like a town hall meeting. The only difference is say media were not there to ask questions. Anka ma media kwan the omumbisa questions are anka it just turned into a campaign platform and I say a town hall meetings now more yet. You can't True State of the Nation, sir. Okay. Say the same period Enna a soldier for akwa shaman. Akwa ye sa ni omo ye no. And you had a golden opportunity as the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Say, ubeka wasem at least to keep the community calm. The president failed to do that. Inti na ye NDC for you say to summarize the state of the nation, our president here, your hopelessness, recklessness, corruption, and leadership paralysis. Because Oshe adia ewo say okano sebio enya adia otumi kan. First of all, Ghana ha and a war president who supervise say population census. 2020 population census came out clear say the youth unemployment rate is gone up. Jana around 18. Say and I'm 24% youth unemployment rate. President refused to talk about it. As if say youth development, youth employment is not of essence. President also came and lied by saying say the shortage of vaccine as a result of global shortage. It was a lie because even Nigeria, our neighbors, Nigeria, they had vaccines in excess. Volunteer So why would president come and lie to Ghanaians, saying say it's as a result of global shortage of vaccine? It's not true. Debt restructuring program. Even see that. Say your credit rating. This is what I want. I expect the president to say. It's the first time in the history of Ghana.
It's the first time.
Yako into this debt restructuring.
Because COVID, this is the first time COVID abba. This is the first time Russia Ukraine war.
I'm coming to that. That is a palpable lie.
How?
Ubetina Ghana na say amani aye komi any difficulties aye komi is as a result of COVID and then Ukraine war. It's a lie because even Ukraine economy, baby, their economy is better than us. They are not in debt. They are not going to IMF.
Not just affecting because yeah important you may be free.
No, you're important and yet Sikan or imported the economy. So if they can't import, who is it going to affect them more?
Affecting
Debbie and make us say affecting. I expect say baby and Tokwanis, it should affect them more, but they are not that affected. Because of the war, they are not able to produce. What I say, Russia's economy now is better than us. Europe are a Russia, Ukraine. Their economy is better than us. Meaning about Togo. They are not in IMF. They are not going to IMF. Nigeria is not going to IMF. Inti Kwana AC, Ghana out of over 100 countries in the world, Ghana. In any case, when they are speaking, they don't think through it. Tawuka say, Ghana's economic challenge is as a result of Ukraine war. Now has the war ended?
No.
But you are saying that you are bringing measures to deal with the economic challenges, and you believe that within a year or two things will turn around. Things will turn around. Abra Ntakwano ekoso. So if indeed Nanado and his government believe that the economic challenges that we are going through is as a result of Russia and Ukraine war, and they will say Ghana for because the moment they stop the fight, Ghana's economy will boom. Is this logic? COVID-2 is gone. They say about Pefe through the auditor's report say we all of us thought say COVID came to create problem and made you spend more. They say about Claire say COVID rather brought you more money. than what we all expected. Enti Ocean State of the Nation's address now, President failed to talk about lawlessness from the Bank of Ghana. Him say Bank of Ghana, they went ahead and print money all over the place. We expect a sincere president to tell us, say, when the difficulties were coming, Bank of Ghana printed X amount of money and pumped into the economy. President failed to do that. President also failed to tell us, say, in this country, banks have collapsed. Companies are collapsing, businesses are closing down, industries are closing down, and people are losing a job. President failed to tell us. President also failed to tell us, he say, the mamufo a food ration. Yen you know, say, you need 3 square meal. My name is Aminua Chairman on OD 3 square meal there. Because they say, you did no pa. You need a year around 4, and you're dieting. Here. Hardship.
Made it 3 times. I made it, but person made it 3.
Oh, into economic challenges now affect you.
Oh, affect you.
Say, me can say for the first time in the history of Ghana, our rating is gone that bad. They say, and yet Janko, you're bankrupt. They can't say we're bankrupt. Let's just say, yeah, and I was say, Jano cry pay mao. For the first time in the history of Ghana, the TBB said financial haircut. Pensioners are on strike. Minti bida. From time I woo me, ebesin maintain say pensioners are on strike, are on demonstration. Those who cannot even walk, they have to carry their chairs and come and sit in the sun to tell the president that they are suffering. Intimi nuaba. And ne ye can not just say president, State of the Nation's address now just came and choose and pick. And the State of the Nation's address, you are reporting on yearly basis because last year you did State of the Nation's address. So we want current issues are
improvement abba.
And then yeah, how me BIAMAH can you say? Anka adia isi nyina no ye minority ana opposition yang kan chiro mo a na aka say a mistake. But we there from 2017 omo ba na obo omo kokko. Say kromfo adia omo ye nsanso a edi beba ni. Wo ye say na beye. Okay. Say ye nua Isaac Adongo a cancer a letter, long letter to the Minister for Finance, so that it will be on record. Say they were cautioned. From 2019, before COVID, the economy now say, not already debts, were balloon. Not already they were spending on consumption. Meanwhile, loan.
But I may call a World Bank for more a website. Ibi ano matro eda ho no mo ameko copy and was say Ghana's rapid growth at that time between 2017-2019 now you grow about 7% yearly. That is what is stated there until say COVID no ebe hoti. That is what.
And that John Dramani Mahama na it was saying 2.3 boom enti asama ye can say Minuaba.
Yes.
And then minuiti. Na minu wa kuji loan. Na me me say loan na meji ye no. Me de koton mobile phones. Na maton. Now they also loan na oji ye no. Ukoto earrings. Ukoto atade foforo. Ukodi wache. Ukoto new car. Minu mienu. Why the beti me tria ne loan? One a credit world, one a smart, one a was a loan no man. Because who could you loan now? Would you loan? You spent it on consumption. You spent it despite the fact that President said, say, they are not going to buy new cars. And Omo ti Ghana ska more than 6 million Ghana cedis akoto new cars for the office of the president. Wakoji skano edi ayo consumption edi skano. I feel you had the gut to say yemfa kanen chow. I can't even think. Wakoji ska say mami busua. I feel time no so betwa o se fache me. Me nua ba me beji usika no me se fache me a o beti ase. It shows that I'm irresponsible. It shows that I'm not wealthy. I don't have credibility again. And this government should bow its head in shame and apologize to all Ghanaians. But strangely, this MPP government will have the effrontery to come out chest out to say, on my mistake bia. And then go to the airport and see Terminal 3. Go to Maritime Hospital. Go to Bank of Ghana Hospital. Go to those things. The investment that we made with the loans is paying off. People are working. Go to University of Ghana Medical School. They are making money. Yes, now why you're quiet and now quiet why you're mad. Because lab tests are open so we are seeing University of Ghana Medical School ubenye biaye. And then we can say they are paying off the loan from their own balance sheet. Terminal 3. They collect airport tax and use the airport tax to pay. Until at that time when this clueless vice president started saying that we are borrowing. We don't need to borrow. This country is rich. And then I'm so shocked. Obia Waka said this country is rich. And borrowing is bad thing to do. And then under his leadership as the chairman of the economic management team, Omuna Aboro Kase. And apart from the borrowing, they spent the money. And then okay, I said those days when Baumia was going around talking about borrowing. Tetepe gave him an answer and said, hey, Ujafo, I'm smart. John Dramani Mahama has superior plan. The borrowing that we were doing was smart borrowing. We were borrowing to invest and pay. We were not borrowing to sit down and chop. We were not borrowing to share money to party cronies. And that is exactly what MPP has done. And ne minu ka say Ghana ya ye mobile kra dodo. Ya tisika so nanso ekom edin. Enti minu aba ne kan say John Dramani Mahama has been a very humble servant to this country. Tama wonya hardship, not to this magnitude. He was humble enough to come and put camera on himself, and tell Ghanaians, I'm sorry. There is a problem with our economy, and I promise you, I'm going to fix it. But me so bibiara onyansa, o nimdie, o ade a obetume bia, mu nyina mu mma na ntina table so. Na yenhwe kwan a yebefa so solve the problem. Okay, what happened? MPP refused. I don't know whether at that time they think about Ghana. And then they almost say Ghana almost there. They think about Ghana more than anybody. But since it paid off, we came up with homegrown solution that transformed the economy. And we were able to do so many things. And then the health infrastructure that we have put in place. And then that's it. They should acknowledge it and call everybody. We NDC for there. Are you ready? You bet me betina sene aboa omo because Ghana ye ma ye nyina. Your call filling station e koto fuel la anya MPP from kwa na eto.
Thank you very much.
Yes, fuel ni etobi.
That's CP. Number 1.
Oh.
Remember me.
Minyaba. Me too say.
Yes, say a state of the nation, a yet real state of the nation. I'm on the two channel.
Na the truth, the truth ni dey.
And no, I be na chama I said don't get here.
Oh, na said obeki kai dey atem didie ni comedy.
Odi obi atem.
Ah,
and atem did you.
Now think some more kika ye ni adie ni
Oh, me obi wa me mo ba ko nkyere.
Oh, some people na miti.
Na dey you dey atem.
Na ebi an kra on kra to as the cruelest vice president no in the money.
Yes,
say language and I'm a boy. Oh, we mean okay. You probably will see saying at him. Did Ebiana the Manco Grammar School? Oh, they're trained. Manco Grammar School, many abo. Into you, dear father, media. That is Mimi language. Say be at him. Did you depending on how everybody sees? But in any case, you see. Yeah, me yaka crowd we say na me ka say ebia omo kan nyina no. And some of kan nyina is about things anado aye. Beboa. And omo kan no in the other side so enya nokre. Ne nokre no. Omo nokre no ene de. What is your opposite? What is your alternative? And ka wo obeye ne sen. Sen na ka obeye no. Okay? Ene ojina ha ka say eye nim guase se ene kenoforata Eko China, Eko ye debt restructuring. Meboa. The guy in our boy. $1.7 billion US. In that 1.7, Mills John Mahama administration in 2014 borrowed $1 billion out of it from China Development Bank. Oh, Nana Meka could you also improve with you? Go and search if it is not there. Go and check whether John Mahama and Mills didn't sign that agreement. So don't tell me check. Are you the host?
Oh wow.
Your colleague, and I'm giving you the list. Oh, Masa. It is there. My host
just put it down.
Notice, don't challenge it. I have years of Mumunya research. Now follow the media. Me say 2014, NDC, John Mahama and Mills administration borrowed from China Development Bank Corporation 2014 $1 billion. You don't even know. And now a cat that China Development Corporation. Tell us. It is part of the restructuring negotiation at Kenoforata Tam the bag. And I'm over say a cano, you can't. I am a Mahama Quadia, Nanado Kana. Nanad, when Urajo Mahama took over, from Oram Mills, na Ghana, and on my penny Fufoko, na yaka about 9 billion, or no handy over 2016, na yako 122 billion. Please. So why are you challenging 1 billion? Why are you challenging 1 billion?
20, please. Now listen to this. Ghana signs $1 billion loan with China for natural gas project in 2012.
We see between Mills, the Mahama administration, end up in 2014. They signed with the bank, Mama Bank, you know, or no, see me improve upon any research, you know. I know what you. Oh, Mister.
But see, you started CSFC and loans, and Chairman Bachot.
You are not being fair. Master, I'll try out to I am pian me sure. When someone can I am here to make sure I will respond to it. If you don't have answer to it, say Momu 1 billion for that. For Uniman, why are you challenging? So that is the point. Say, Otiha Omuka and COVID. I was sorry, I can't Russia and Ukraine. Yeah, can you deny a contempo? Huh? Mera, I'm telling you, Omu communication director said me improvement. And then American inflation just jumped only 3%. Egg. Just 6 months between the line. It jumped from $2.99 to $7 in the magnitude. What it was the percentage say as inflation ako? Yes, 3%. And no back to Ghana, inflation ako by 30%. But Kosia, is it the difference of $4? Is it a difference of $4? So the point is that except what has happened because they are suffering from what is happening within the Russian and the Ukraine war. Kasa because almost some musika kakra we chire nkonko taye chire. Ye kan ya mo de mo se mu de mu hu hwe. Mu nteshi. Ye import hwe Ukraine free ho no. What you have to realize is say the affected Western nations are baby a we most importations. Ghana GDP based upon the foreign earners about 69%. And then my back room we import. It assume say German for and then omunya gas and from process BBA. The fact that say unfa gas and free China, unfa gas and free Ukraine and Russia no. Don't you think say that particular and now import from Germany and maybe one? Except on the economics nasi. Because our economics gratitude based upon the import and export. It you say and then otiho micro minimum shikra minimum say serious import from Russia was about $47 million. Fertilizer almost about $36 million. And Ghana na import. Paper from Russia almost about $10 million. Otiha also the only still iron na ye free Russia na omo free ho eba kroma more than $8 million. It except say why you desperate for power? Intinu sorry now come some now. You try to let the world to know say oh Modie you have the best skills to run the economy. But your home economy between 2012 and 2016. What do you mean for Rajom or Ramos Grant Tunche? Or Rajom Mahama now or Nama Okakan Sama or Dick Nanado in 70B. Can say Nanado and I say no I can't say no I can. When he runs the economy, what was the economy in this country? Well, the best social intervention out the brain of Ghana. I doom so. It became was it a world crisis? No, a world crisis, Anna. You went ahead and borrow the car and send combine to an excess energy. It cost the nation over 500 million. Also, you are doing excess power. And say, Sabi, you're thinking government. And now you're strategic government. You won't put your nation to such a quagmire. But then, Otiho also will defend it. Ube Janabe Kacho say, what has happened in the world, Mudia Muhuye. And then, or some can be also, and then Togo, Ivory Coast, and the money at the Oman called IMF. They don't know what they are talking about. And then Ivory Coast is seeking over 2 billion. 2 billion. Oh,
you mentioned Togo and Nigeria.
How many times? How many times? Another massive thing from Ivory Coast to Togo. Go and see the Togo crisis. Who told you Togo is not part of it? The IMF structure, Krano, and just a Ghana and a Dimrika. What do you say? And yet Ghana crown a Dimrika. It was the world crisis when IMF who said no. If you see baby and watch IMF said Ghana for one could be America for could be UK for could be UK Ghana near your near require no finance minister and IMF not in a D. And I'm a boy. What you say? It say Mudia Musimu who dear Kosua. Me, my only joy is that Mudia my desperate into Bakadium can be about Ghana for any world in him say Ghana economy can be only managed by the MPP party led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Let me give you a typical example. On contrary, say in the history of Ghana independent from 1960, 1950s, 56, I be say that Bain and a baby, I catch yourself full and a 10 cities with about 2 cities there. At the time, Yetio Maimuha, na crude oil, $30. John Mahama, I did not buy a and say, Yen Tono, that higher price, that I'm almost still another they are selling a liter here at 14 Ghana cedis. And I'm talking about 7 years back, 2015, 2016. Crude oil was $30. And the crude oil you're turning here. It ought to not say the engineers of economy on Tiasia. Ube de desa atu yampia sa na wakwaba no aba betinemu. And then crude oil. Togo, okay. Provincial says the SEFA convert to the cedi. Ton a liter of fuel, 17.46. 17. Mekan Ghana cedis. I'm talking about Ghana cedis. So whatever you convert Ghana one is the same thing. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to let you know, and then Ghana, 12 Ghana cedis, 29 cents or 29 pesos. Have you asked what has happened? And the crude oil cry, you say about from 89 and they turn almost 72. Compare with your 7 years. Who the economy now be manage ya or may you be bo abaso I say no oh yeah can also and ya no cre and a contempo and a clueless and a diana corruption. Who is more corrupt than John Mahama? Who is more corrupt than the NDC government that we inherit? Now we come by IMF. Yet Kromha, at the time we hand it over in 2016, the economy grew only 3%. When we took over from there to 2019, before the COVID, every year Ghana economy was grown by 7%. They have not denied that. Now you buy this crisis crown. Me, they be there. Me can say nyame and the ma MPP government buy because then John Mahama any NDC administration now. And I just think you rip paper Kroma.
That's it.
Because of what actually the little that we saw about when and not yes be the Ebola. Kania and then Kroma, you see your revenue has gone down. We are aware from 2019. Kania you turn free for 6 months. You turn salaries for free education. And kwala one more country one more borrowings na all cano and now tia country and say oh airport any idea etuano on my the statement that how much it's a pay that particular debt structure and all country and say
airport loan no kwame na mo fa so
me say majority of them.
Revenue fee.
Rhetoric. Oh, now revenue. Can the revenue pay what they borrow? I like the word. So because I contribute. But say assume he said no. You could listen to the word or say I contribute. But if he contributes, it doesn't contribute enough. Now there are no borrow scano. Is he going to sit down and say, oh, usika na abeji yeno, or revenue aji enye enough? Intinu, oh dear. The one you be a fabra. Whatever percentage that you agree, when it still accumulate to a certain figure. Oh, borrow 1 billion. That's a subusubi be a utia 1 million. Oba 1 million is a way name ko kabe 600. As soon as 600, the can huma. Except the mathematics they don't understand. Intinu media minim say Ghana AD konenim. No matter what the crisis is, a world crisis. Nobody can deny it.
Thank you very much, Soprano.
I mean, sure. I'm chair Ghana for you na CPP for you party chairman. Just by the way, me also me informal listeners and so say NRA Convention People's Party a central committee meeting. Now the thrust of the decision on make and the main conclusion on make and the decision on make no. And they say, a central committee say, reorganization of the party from polling station to constituency to regional to national. But they will not do it now. But rather, they want to choose the flag bearer. And later, General Secretary, Nanaya Jantua, will be briefing me later. And that is the current state of affairs. The CPP will choose a flag bearer, but we will not do polling station elections. We will not do constituency level elections. We will not do regional elections. We will not reorganize. We'll just choose the flag bearer, and when he comes, he will come and reorganize. That is what the Central Committee is saying, and I have just passed that message on.
Why that decision?
Well, I think
we are all quite apprehensive.
And as I was saying, the General Secretary, Nana Yajantwa, says she will brief me later so that the communication team will be able to pass it on. So,
now, are you not part of the
Sure. However, the General Secretary would like to give me some pieces of information before. And I think it's right that we just wait for her.
Okay.
Now, Oba also know, na Penny me patrolling as a former MP Wadaroma. I have high regard for senior politicians because they have worked in where we want to work, and so I value his input. And when I ask him or when I interject, or Kasana be the question be so is because I want to understudy him because he's experienced.
Or a former chairman for New Japan.
Not McJerry Krum. You know, into Penny de Monsen Power and yet they be between Twan, but who him I want to clarify.
Oh no,
Matia. Okay, Oba Nanami Busan is a proof no. So the Tiana say Obi can't say maybe a movie Busan say on show proof. It's not because we think he's lying. It's because we want to be better educated. After all, knowledge is like a big baobab tree, and there is no one person that can embrace it all alone. And as you know, in a program we say, you know, we learn as we listen to it. So, okay. Now, minia oba the etiane se nanka minya nkomo no state of the nation no nka me de be marry China for Bosiana yetuano if you don't mind, because I see linkages. Now the etiane say the China for 1.7 billion. So I say and me wafa or I say NPP chairman or say emu 1 billion no every during President John Mahama's administration. So, but be it as it may, no, me feel say, I would hope say Chinese government, would give the new Patriotic Party government a really tough time before they give them a break, so to speak. So the reason is not because I don't want Ghana to get breathing space from China, but it is because our leaders, repeatedly, they don't take our financial, our finances, for lack of a better way, our finances, I don't think they take it seriously.
When you say if China decide to give these leaders tougher, I just sanctions or whatever, is going to indirectly affect the citizens.
It will, but you see,
at the end of the day,
but citizens, you choose government. So until there's a price to pay for the choices we make. You understand? Now, we were there when a certain beloved gentleman promised us that there was a Ghana had yet discussion so I say, Vice President, all kinds of wild theories and kokamami strategies, as I say, so about how he would fix the economy. And I need to young citizens, you who say leadership, they are too comfortable. And I say so because of over the past years, here president in the cry. And I can say president aeroplane, yes, and now you it is symptomatic. And I say abina is the excesses. So now, the say, in addition to the fact, say you need fiscal discipline. That is the word I was looking for. You need fiscal discipline. I was say will be government, like China, because some bet government, So now, for instance, so we share the current government of Ghana under President Akufo-Addo. I were about 110 ministers, right? You see, but China now kwakope forgiveness and concession every omohono. I'm 35 ministers. I'm 1.4 billion.
That's their population.
That's their population. And our ministers near 35 pe. So, meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo, he has a rather gargantuan administration. So, and we feel, say, for instance, we hope, say, Chinese government will compel President Akufo-Addo to downsize. Say, with respect. By the way, I think I have to show integrity in pointing out, say, although the cabinet, cabinet or China, my friend is State Council of the People's Republic of China. Although there are just 35 of them, it is very important and I think fair to to point out say omo parliament no omo unicameral parliament say Ghana omo parliament no were 2,924 people, and I think it's important in the say be putting it into context. So I say now me can say your current state of the economy no or state of the nation no, it also has a bearing on the geopolitics air course we are say. As you remember, Minya Penny Chairman Air Kasa or talking about Russia-Ukraine war. That is a geopolitical impact we are experience what I say. So say so we share geopolitics now. And as we speak, Chairman Xi, the leader of China, is in Russia. So I tell you, and China is aligned with Russia. So I tell you. However, no, China is aligned with Russia. Into the United Nations General Assembly, about Ukraine issue, no, China abstained. Ghana voted against Russia. So I tell you, into the American say, as a member of the Convention People's Party, no, I think it is important for me to remind the listener, say historically, no, Ghana is a non-aligned country. That is important in geopolitics. And in trying to get loan relief from China, geopolitically speaking. Because you see, what is happening, they say, America, in fact, Chairman Xi of China, say America is trying to surround and contain China. Na say see Ghana no more about China for America for. So America person mo de China and Russia ebrase. Na mo de China for ka. Na mo si China for mfanchemo. Na mo wi amakogina America for echi. Against China. Why will they do that? A bad thing, Oba. And a Convention People's Party, we are reminding Mrs. Shirley Ayoko Boche and her foreign affairs team of Ghana's historical posture as a non-aligned country. Yes, Oba, Tama ye non-aligned, no. And America for a boy me see a Kosombodam. Because they were afraid to say Russia for baby ayen. And Russia for free say America for baby ayen, no. And when we see factories near MMI and almost start to see Bui Dam. All kinds of projects for us. And I'm saying, say, when a country like Ghana, which is a bellwether country in Africa, the country independence first, our president to say the independence is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of Africa. No? So I say, that poster now, when you take the poster of being non-aligned, you can source from the east and you can source from the west. An example of a country that is currently benefiting from such a posture is India. India says, "Me vote, me baby." President Kwame Nkrumah said it. We neither look left, east or west. We are looking forward. So, under the circumstances, who say indeed, no, the state of the nation, no, in a terrible shape. And Minister of Finance, no, whether John Mahama, president, created the debt for him or not, no. Currently, he is in charge of the debt, and he or catch the Ghana for paying for pension for that country, no. Ebegu in the month of March. April. And Nuntin America say the economic management team of the New Patriotic Party is full of sound and fury, signifying nothing, and they are fond of raising a false alarm. The economy will crash in March. The economy will crash in March. April. I feel the economy will crash. Say June. Say May. So, but you see, you and I know. Say he's not telling us the precise truth. In June, Ghana, that's why we are not going to disappear. We are not going to die. So I say, we hope, say, the president at this time, on one administration, I confess, say, you man overwhelm me or I may declare bankruptcy. No. Nanki a bonfire said they would call a national conference. Na to because in their own words, no, it is beyond them. And no atuyen lala sulala president minister of finance onenam China for honum airport match on. Although I hope Ghana gets relief of a sort from China, no, I also hope say Chinese for no would make sure say Ghana is more fiscally disciplined. In conclusion, one thing I'll just say is time our president State of the Nation address no. That veranda boys no so him near hustle street so. So I wanted to briefly tell the president of Ghana about the state of the streets in Ghana, because President Akufo-Addo is not aware of what is happening on the street. Oh, that's why no bourgeoisie, elite. I mean, he is living a highfalutin lifestyle, aeroplane, bathroom, and stuff like that. President Akufo-Addo does not know what is happening in Nima on the streets right now. He can't. He's too far removed. Now, on the street, about what is happening, our president, a person who are aware, and he says, still, Ghana for boys, niggas, yenya baby in that. You did that one thing, you did that kiosk, Muniade. Baby, I did that done public toilet to crampuni ho. Inti I toilet, our plastic bag mu, our kiosk, ya yakotwachne. Ya MAAME, ya simo besraya, omunya baby in TFE. That situation that's the honum. So I say, boys, still, yenya jumanye, hustling na ekoso. So sorry, I no power neighborhood. Ube say boys or maybe university, omujina eduasi di nkomo. Ube kruma bano. Still, now boys, eda sujina ho. The president is clearly not aware of these things. Until I want to use the opportunity to inform our dearly beloved great leader, President Akufo-Addo, of some of these things on the streets. Bre. Now, komube take opportunity no. One final thing I was saying is clearly the planting for food and jobs program was a failure throughout last year, and we want to encourage the president. Say still, agri could save the country, and he should reconsider the CPP's Ghana national farms. We said time Ghana farms. So what I say. Now, president then started. Let's not think say. Yebema small scale farmer or astronomy kind of bit me transform Ghana's agric. Okay. Rather, the country, the republic should be in the driving seat. Take a page from the CPP's strategy with regards to, agric by the establishment of the Ghana state farms. Because it can really bring a lot of employment so that the youth of this country could, really get something doing. Instead of our current dismal existence.
Soprano of the CPP and Oga will lead the way for career. The NDC is aware NPP have beaten them to the achievements game, so they have resorted to lying. We will give you airtight evidence and facts. Ghanaians deserve the truth to make informed decision come 2024. The election 2024 is going to be about records and not do or die affair. Former President Mahama with his NDC, not an option. Shirley Mamitiwachi, Deputy CEO, Minerals Commission. Enoktei Edway Efri Asamankase Enoktete Kwame GH. Kudos to Chairman Johnson Yesi for the true state of the nation address. This is the reality of the Ghanaian economy. The MPP can never be trusted anymore. Greetings to Owen Kwame Frempong. Amisco Spelele, aka Hawakumse Twasu, NDC so-called true state of the nation address is full of viruses which must be formatted. My sister, I'm sorry to say this. The John Mahama's NDC will lose again coming 2024 elections. Eric Edu and what do we buy? Godwin Dan Kwano say cost of 1 liter of petrol is 14 Ghana cedis and not 17 Ghana cedis in Togo. Chris Pofufo, ex-President Mahama can win NDC's flag bearership easily because NDC doesn't have the men, but he should forget about becoming president of Ghana again because Ghanaians don't need any okay. MC Yapreko and also my regards to the best former minister in the agriculture sector since 1992, Dr. Akoto Efriye, the incoming president of Ghana in 2025. Okay, and also so what the Honsam Abba or pay the more Felix. All the way from Kumase Swame. NDC don't have any vision for Ghana propaganda. MPP Papa. Greetings to Chairman Odinho Bako Apia. And then Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And also Edenedium. Aba share a WhatsApp messages to Kakra. For the Eba and Afe Yemfe no and Twasona Yanko Yang and Nim. Agunaba MP Edwin Frika Swa Adam Nana and was Mami Soja. Good afternoon. NDC has nothing to offer this country because they have been in government before and they were not able to perform and Ghanaians sacked them and Ghanaians will not vote for NDC again. My regards to Honorable Howard Komsen. Oga Willing Carrier, the NDC is aware. Okay, I think I've read that one. In Shraba and Kasha, my constituency, General Siedun Ketia was reading like, oh, no, please, I beg you, I beg you, beg you. Don't try to put me into a very tight corner. Good afternoon, Mami BIAMAH. Please, we want the chairman of the NDC, Siedun Ketia, to tell Ghanaians the cost of one block in dollars. He was supplying to the Bui Dam construction as we learned one block of his block A from his factory was $50 and now went on a press conference to accuse the MPP government of mismanagement as he looted the country when the NDC was in power in 2012 to 2016. Mami, please, tell the NDC man at your studio that the Legon Medical Hospital was built by the university. Former president only guaranteed for the loan the university took. And also, good afternoon. My name is Divine from Volta. The NDC man is very good. God bless him and God bless you too. Former President MAAME, Ghana is always in economic stagnation due to poor leadership, obsession with corruption, overspending, and borrowing. If we can't cut our coat according to the size of our material, control corruption, and allow people go scot-free for causing financial loss to the state, then we will create a static mountain on our way. We can never break through. We need to start thinking outside the box to control these prolonged economic challenges. And former President MAAME should not use the current global economic hardship, which Ghana is not exceptional, to deceive the electorates. So far, he hasn't been able to tell Ghanaians his policies and programs, but he is rather thinking of reviewing better things being implemented by AKWAFO's administration. It is all lies and unjustifiable to tell Ghanaians that he should have maintained price of fuel the minimal if he happens to be charged. Mami Soja, good afternoon. So NDC think they can do better than NPP? NDC, you talk too much. Why? Officer Chikitase and Odiwe Ifribaye. Positive change, Medina. It is an insult to the sensibilities of Ghanaians for this government to waste all the unprecedented revenue that have accrued to them on the, corruption and wasteful expenditures, only to turn around to punish us for their own mismanagement by imposing crippling taxes and hardships on us. Ghana is indeed in the wrong hands. Good afternoon, may kindly help me wish Ola Michael happy birthday. May the joy he has spread around come back to him in 100 folds. Abdul Majid, Red Pen, and Odiwe Emma Ola. Kwame Entry, New Aplaku. Some of us in the MPP are fed up to the backseat with Kenneth Japon's extremely annoying threat to collapse the party. Yes, if NPP fools around, I will show the video. It's really more unforgivably infuriating. Having realized that he has no chance of winning the MPP flag bearership, he seems to think with the videos and secrets he claims to have, he can blackmail the MPP into electing him as the flag bearer. God forbid. MPP for Breno, ya Breno, ya Bre holier than thou, Canadian Japan, or non qua ya wine. Sadly, it is only in a contemporary Ghana where the appearance of prosperity is all too often wrongly taken as a sign of propriety. It is time Kennedy Japan stop behaving as if without him, NPP will cease to exist. Amefa Mukaila Diei Enchatwe, Mukaila Jonas inside Keri. NYC BIAMAH, please tell your guests to be guided by his comments. We are one party with a common destiny. Everyone has their preferred candidate. So he should champion his Baumia agenda than seeking to pair running mates. He has just one vote, likewise me. So he shouldn't think the Choboy on Baumia shouldn't deceive his imagination. The grassroots would honor Honorable Kenneth Japan. He shouldn't forget the usual fear delegates. So I think that I mentioned that to him into his aware. Now, share 3 billion soprano deal or join 3 billion IMF deal Kenoforiata runs to China for critical debt restructuring. IMF deal deadline no more March ending, but has been pushed to May ending. Reading.
Yeah, anytime we talk about this government, our lies, who thought that ABI and then for the first time in MPP communication, almost say 1.2 billion or 1.7 billion final debt, 1.7 billion. Almost say it's so laughing. 1 billion a year Ghana time 2012 and a Ghana under the leadership of NDC 2014. As if say ukoji loan no, it doesn't have period. Munchen you. Eba as if say ukoji loan na say na uefi say the issue is that even 2012 NDC also go for loan 1 billion for gas project and it's part of 3 billion. Enti loans are and also, but every loan has a specific period. It's any logic. Emma me say ya kwakwaji loan 2014. Into loan eda so train. Yentria bi interest ni yentria. Into loan eda so train. Ama MPP baby tria loan. It doesn't make sense. They can loan dia and they bet me I say loans from Kufuor time, from Jerry time, from Nkrumah time. Ni loans so by if you quantify it. The loans that we took under John Dramani Mahama was a little over akaka can do 80 billion. Mo on one can. Mu loan na mo jino from 2017 to now. You understand? You have run the economy down. You have messed up the economy. Just acknowledge the fact say moye. Na mpaibokra na ebe bompa ya mamwa. Na ya bompa ya say nyame emamu wisdom to navigate your way through. You still continue to lie say loan na mo kwa negotiate NDC abai na kwajisa loan. Eto asum. You said it say emu 1.7 emu 1 billion. Yes, no. NDC abai na kwaji. Na mumu ba ya no mo anko che mumu ba ya no enye noise. You are not making noise. You are not making noise. So you are telling me say MPP ba ya no o man kwaji loan ambeka ho. Is that what you are telling me? You see in terms of economic management, you don't come anywhere close to us. Unemployment rate in 2016 it was 8.4 and now we say 14%. Me budget deficit in 2016 6.1 and now saying and now 12% times 2. Meanwhile, inflation rate our time in 2016 was about 15.4 and now saying 52%. From 15.4 to 52%. Lending rate, lending rate was about 25%. And then lending rate is between 38 to 45%. And you still have the math to talk. Exchange rate in 2016, it was 9.6. And then 54%. From 9.6 to 54%. Yeah, time. When they are doing credit rating internationally, Ghana will B plus. Ukoye exams no unya B plus. Why are they? What pass? And they say, and they junk. Na junk no tiase. Adia a baller. Adia yam pe baller crano. Yam pese edi begu baller. And they junk. And ne baby ananado ni bawumia edi akono. Growth rate in agriculture in our time was 2.7% and ne AKWAFO 0.7%. In the manufacturing sector, our time under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it was 7.9% and ne 4.5%. AKWAFO more than a half. Construction sector, our time under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the rate of growth in that sector 8.4%. And then under the so competent Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, about half the growth rate about half to 4.2%. And these people still have the gut. Instead, some be humble, show humility. I mean, crowd we are bonia. Who say bonifacha wedding or the chow? But why you win you now running down the economy? And you still have the gut to say you are superior managers of the economy. Management in Okwe Chiana, we are there, and I say Okwe Nimana, we are there. I mean, it's only under MPP logic that I don't know former and we are there. And all the data shows say you are performing worse than His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. It means you have a message say, I'm only praying that God should give MPP the wisdom to be humble. God should put His mercy on them. From Nanado down there. To be humble. To have some integrity. To come out and say, Ampa, Adiane Atuchima. Yenina yamwa sene minua sprado ekan. Yenina yamwa. We have the men in Ghana, we have the men. Uko amananea. US, UK, Europe, all over the place, and you see Ghanaians. Now, all the international organizations, Silicon Valley, Amazon, my cousin Bako Ejuma or Amazon, or one of their IT experts. We have Ghanaians who have the technical know-how, who have the brains, who have the energy, who have the capacity to turn around the fortunes of this country. Be humble enough to invite them to come and help, because everything shows say this finance minister, the cousin of the president, cannot run the economy of this country. Until you want a president, don't give it to your cousin, because you are supposed to fire him. But she say no, protecting the image of the family, no, chance protecting the integrity of this country. Odrin say, you obina nanado, the finance ministry man. No one a cousin, no just a mere MPP person, no perform this abysmal, and now Akufado will not have sacked him. Uncle Akufi,
that's Alaji. Come on.
Yes. I am there, sir. Me understand. Nafi, who say, or the wambo about the rate. Yeah, can. Oh. And I don't know you maybe. Maybe it's not right. It is right because I would have some sort of communicating. All right. So I am. Please.
You cannot judge what.
Alaji.
That's how did they wait for me.
No, everybody I will free no.
Because I started about 1 billion. Oh, please, why? You said when I used 1 billion, you used the same analogy to speak. So what do you think when you said I can't use the same? No.
Attack you. I don't do that.
So please, you can take it how you want to take it. The point that I'm trying to. What do you do if I'm wrong? You can say it.
You can say what you want.
Exactly.
So,
Master, I hear what someone. Whatever you said, it was wrong.
Can you allow him to go?
It's important.
Why are you so emotional about your presentation?
I'm not so emotional. It is important. When we come and we are speaking to the public, you speak to the public. You don't attack a fellow panelist. It's wrong communication.
He has heard you.
Please.
Thank you.
Matthew,
Young German.
He was talking about the loans or say Akoji. Now Akoji loans now. And now Akoji loans now, not just a loans in Yentiana. Let me remind him. When NDC Borough signed all the IPPs in energy, they had a moratorium for 5 years. Most of them were signed in 2016. 80 million. So transnational during one time I start here to Yakano. 2021. What you say? 80 no baby I not free but say at the loan be in why yetuana. Or no say borrow almost 80 billion. But meanwhile, the data shows to say almost no major 122. Meaning say it is the accumulative of the loans other previous government aji edi account. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt. And now what you say you see a negotiate 1.7. You say move 1 billion ya odia Also won't ase. Na ye de betena ha ne ye kan about the economy na. Ye de ye feel say we na associate in the economy na. Not all the loans. Now, the China loans, so we put all the aggregation together, it's over 6 billion. Not all of them that they decided to go and negotiate. What I say? It is a winning no bisa. Rather than say over to whom I am here. He was talking about the base rate at the banking lending rate. More free was 2016. What was the banking lending rate? You were talking about 25 to 28%. Me say 25 to 28%. You are talking about the base rate. You are not talking about the rate that the bank was giving. The banking lending rate wasn't 25%. Me see base rate. Your base rate was 25%. You need to go and search for it. The bank was giving the loans between 28 to 32%. 2016. What you say? And now me know say when we took over, the base rate came down all the way to 14%. As at Masa, go say Google. As at 2018 and 2019, the base rate was 14%. As at 2021, it came up to 18%. Between 2022, when the economy now all the social interventions in COVID in India, then it jumps to 35%. And now me know say today, the base rate is 24%. So sometimes it tells you, oh please, it tells you say when you know how to manage the economy. Nobody will tell you say economy no stagnant the jafaku bibi in kosro and America and the lending rate to America is saying and then I'm 6%, but as at the year 2019 it was 3% because it is not the same. But if you know how to do it, you know say likelihood no it will be a time I say to me back from when the economy picks up and no na I show within the economy and the year tremo said the nefuala. Yetiwa mwanye bida. And then me say your ton liter at 12.29 Ghana cedis. When who free what 2016 who turn 14 Ghana cedis. Mo the money we some kra. Who some be challenge. Meanwhile, when you were selling at 14 Ghana cedis per liter no, na crude oil $30. You say it's a Ghana for more abosom no muntia. Na no na mo de be support adia your friends mo be service na dachi bia ya tuma wo mo ho ankyere. And what happened? So it tells you say economy it is like your everyday household management. Eto de bia ahokyere beba. Ahokyere ba the leaders must understand say ahokyere ba. Inti adia ye no aho so epeja ye be ma manfo so ehu. So if you don't understand, that is what it is. Mo ba ya na mo say doom sope. Most suspending all the social interventions will come out. Doom so anya international crisis. Anya Togo, anya West African crisis. Most suspending nurses allowance, teachers allowances, banks, anya problem. Some of them, you couldn't even solve them. Almost all the allowances are na mutiama the workers. Mutuani nemo. Most freezy employment. Yankashi. Yenim say economy no ni ebetimi aye all we remind Ghanaians and no na we need crisis o mo crisis no and no na kura no the borrowings amusan de be shame na no san ba be headache amo man no o to all sign IPPs almost about 500 million enye useful to the state ene o man etu ahoka eti no say wo edum ribi na say wo de why desperate for power nti no de wabu ani agusu say de akoso wo wiase bi ani ho a eno na make kai wo say within our crisis and kwale eco school mama man typical one example okay time of free before I had free education beba in 2016 my brother my cousins ma no go opera 7 of them different that household and 7 of them and kwalane pass year 2016 high school SS miniaba omontumi anko in 2017 as at September free education by and collect some certificate core and then some of them are universities, some of them are about to complete. It tells you part of the achievement that do you know what the nation have invested in them? All this crisis more than musimu huye and yes and crisis we are seeing the share obi aso oniska and na mo kan mo se China for so muniska mo se Germany for so muni binti e ba o mo maye bi yanko ye de ye I mean on betena no mo beka oh and China ministers here 35. Do you know how many deputies, how many departments and when the system has been established? We have independent systems burn and what to it means say for 10 ministers. These are the systems that you can use to mining your state. Most of them will compare the thing without even relevant facts. Go to America, most of them ministers, say 20 or say 22 or something. Go and see under Secretary of States. And our deputy secretaries are what the departments are here. Never in boom. And I say ya jump on another minister, so we 88. Ne yaka, ne ya sorry call. What you say? And you money be hoa. Yeah, yentias say, baby, we are see a coduno. Huh? If we are seen this time, and I said, me reckon and all can Kwame Nkrumah in your money idea. Kwame Nkrumah was mining under 3 million population. As in 1972, Nabuja crime mining less than 5 million. And the population, I say. What you say? How seriously that the nation has grown in their taxes? All kind of taxes. Ghana with taxes before. You see, I did E-levy crime, but now you are still under 30. Oh, please. Oh, besides tax, me try tax. I say population ratio. Oh, besides tax, me so tax bracket. As at even last year, I did E-levy ban. You were still under 13%. Besides, I say independent. When Kwame Nkrumah established, what was the tax bracket? And then America tax bracket is about 45% for a single a child. And now what tax bracket awo kromha. Who can be biani other interventions in your man in Boma? You're still hovering under 20%. Your population is around 30 million. 30 million. Do you have the same infrastructure now? Who can want someone now 30% Kwame Nkrumah time nana? What you say? I am giving you analysis. I'm doing analysis to tell you, say, at that time, 3 million population. Even the tax bracket was 12%. Okay. The infrastructures were not the same. Now population has grown, quadruple. Okay. It's in the same tax bracket. What do you expect? So it is innovation. Now innovation. What about do 9 years? One party a good. Oh yeah, party. I'm a because you have 9 years in government. Who want me? So my point that I'm trying to tell you say, Ghana, you do time. We need to embrace it. Situation now, and you better be a comparison with Kwame Nkrumah. They are all kind and yet the same. Okay. Population you grow quadruple. And Yamani Moon said that's a sign. And Yamana, Sabi, government upon government, a association build up. And I'm a boy. And can you buy and near Manka, John Mahama say why, and Naka year twice. Yanko ya chibak. Uba ya kwaji loan. Eso uba C E block. You year max 101. Bisa sa ukonwa complete ahi. One completed 23. And no World Bank 46. And no na anu year. Where jaguho. So besides the second because there was no dime. One city crowd. One city. Then you were telling, say, you were having crisis.
Thank
because
you so
your
much,
crisis was based upon my free education. And your free education, so I could pump, sir, brown shirt here, the man called Laya Nesi Omunasi. Nina can be, and now we use now the cocoa. That was your audit. That's your audit at the end.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much. Soprano, wrap it up, Mame.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, Mame.
Sure.
But under 1 minute.
Sure. In TM say, yes, and Ubin Chirakurenya. Teddy and Kufu Dubai, our economy is so lovely and fantastic. This year, milk and honey, a gugu and cook, you cook me, Yetimiton Kokonumpa. I mean, President. I'll say this and I'll end. Despite the fact here, politics, our radio, in my heart, I really wish President Akufo-Addo the best in the interest of the citizenry because he bredodo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But Meba, Erica, do not see these leaders from the CPP are collapsing the CPP.
Obama, no, dear, a central committee. Thank you.
I appreciate it. No, under 1 minute. Wrap it up, Mame.
Doom saw any ekom. Say only light. Ubeda soon. Na ekom edu wunya duane ndi. Ye na obi.
Yes. Anybody in Ghana catch us or comedy. What catch us duane ni o. What that is a Ghana for. Now you okay? What would you do? That is something you are holding. Not something yet. Not say or person or come on for Tininka. Media Bibisa say Ghana for catch said you are in who. No, the won't answer because Ghana for catch said you are in who.
Adrian or Honest Cabani at the quarter.
Adrian or Hodia, not just a common Ubia.
We are sure. There be no one man.
The spectacle is here, $5,000. It's a common
Hey, I was here for how did you make this be a telephone license? 0302243540 bet me a friend ado adwen chaba. Hello, good afternoon.
Mami soja ho te.
Area de adome ho ye pa na so em. Yo, yet you.
MP no tutu container no na mina. Oba pa man yo nwanwa. The soprano any MPP. Ombetu futu egu Ghana ni. Because many as sopranos of one way. You see, I shall go to come. It will be defended on defense. The NDC seat 46 seconds. For a hit and Bessie. More Bobissia over 600 billion. That's it can a den and Mudiaye. And now, Minamuka said, Moon, Patrocian for Yaka and Taye. I gentlemen for the discussion. One can say, oh, Bisna Modia, when Namudia, and he had the chamu cry, Benjamin for Swamo. Oh, yeah, Jim, and Modia could go with you. Because, dear, my person made this room can say, combat me.
That's it. Hello, good afternoon. That's your dinner, baby, Afrifi. It's you.
I see do it here. That's a amount. Oh, yeah, my damn. But then, let me try this way. I see do it here. My and if you now, sorry, now, and you come in, but then you what?
That's it. Hello, good afternoon. Pajodini baby Afrifi. The brass of it.
Can I mean French? Mara. BIAMAH, say, yeah, and then this podcast. I'm very bad, you know. I buy. There you go. To put what in what or sign a gun. Let me be a man. And yet, almost a buy it or more. Every day, what you be that? Be my look at my no lotion. As soon to ride a sky. And the man hammer to not deal with to not jump. We are bringing it. Uncle or yeah, fine. Yeah, you must be. But we can I want to. I don't know why you proceed.
Hello, good afternoon. Pajodini baby Afrifi. It's over.
I'm a more time. I got minister does. They're ready. Now, minister say like, come on, a general what? Okay. So, mama, what? If you have the one more.
Medase P of AK. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Ipa Chodini baby Afrefi.
But Mr. Kwati is with you.
Yo, Mr. Kote.
Yo, Medase. That's MPP. I just say, I got a phone number radio. Like I said, you know, and so. Yeah, I said you can. I know. I moved your own and you're no correct. Every right thing, Ghanaian. And it's as far as you get your back, I know. And the correct to do. You don't man got a say, and I do, sir. Not got a yet to come to Kuba Bresso. You have to Mama so. You 120 billion. And you requested that bill. And another in 6 years, what Babusa over 480 billion. Maybe I got a share another, sir. Now one bag of cement, 27 cities. And then one bag of cement, 90 cities. And they got a petrol, 14 cities. And the petrol, over 10 cities.
That's P. Hello, good afternoon. Chodini baby Afrefi.
FM, gaskiya, na bo man sa fafin ko.
Gaskiya is you.
Nde ma nyami sa woni jwa ya bo. Ewo mu. MPP, enim gwase omodi. Omo gumun mo se poto. Yes, ya, to ya ka se nyi. Amu twa mu gidi. Nem se mo be kunye, be kuma magana, na ke ho akyeye pa. Enso mo ko mo twam ansa mo pese mo sandi toni ba jije. Ni le bi na mo de ba ya no. Aso fa so ne say. Mbema solo do free open station. I say what chase main road. I say double SC for moi. What is about no info. Oh papa no is on what si from kra. O to ma mo about tell mu no. E bi ka mo kan no. Ababa ku queen. Mbema down ne no power ya.
That's hello, good afternoon. Chodini baby Afrefi.